Antaryascha bahirvidutatimiram jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanamunmulayan pashyan vishwamapidamullasatiyo vishwasya pare paraha Tasmai Sri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha Satpratyayakam Nivihaya Santam Riddesha Chinta Ragito Hritakya Kadam Smaramastamameyamekam Tasmas Tasya smritihi tasya dridaiva nishta. Satyastitihi. In the verse 29, Satyastiti, Satyastiti, both are the same. Yatra aham na udeti. That state of abidance in the self is where aham na udeti. Ahankara na asti. Ego is absent. And how that is achieved? Tacha udayasthana gaveshanena, anveshanena. By the search for the origin or the starting point of this ahankara. Udayasthanam, Janmasthanam. What is the birthplace of ego? Yadi tad na nashet. If that doesn't die at all, then swatma aikyatya rupa nishta katamastu. How can there be abidance in the self? That abidance without the destruction of the ego is not possible. Satyastitihi vina nanashet. Nanashet vina, without that, the destruction of that, without the hunt for its place of emergence, will not perish. Anveshanam vina nanashet. First thing is Satyastitihi tat sitihi yatra ahankaraha na, where there is no ahankar, that is called Satyastitihi. Anveshanena vina nanashet. Without looking for its original starting point, it would not die. If it doesn't die, yadi tanna nashet. Swa atma aikya rupa nishtha katham. How can there be oneness with that complete self? As we saw in the last class also, when you go to any physician for a diagnosis, and which is a continuous problem, that doctor would obviously look for the cause. Where is the problem? in spite of medicines, it is not going away, then there should be a very strong rooted problem somewhere sitting there in the body. Once that starting point of the problem is known, then alone rooting it out is possible. In the same way, ahankarasya swarupam kim? What is the nature of ahankara? Abhimana swarupam ahankaraha. Ahankarasya abhimana eva swarupam. Its nature is abhimana. Abhimana tadatmya bhava. That is identification with something. Constantly it is surviving from one to another. Not all of us identify with the same thing. Not all of us have the same kind of ego. A small child, which is only a year or two old, does not have identification with any profession, any friend circle, any car, any house, none of those things. उसका अभिमान नहीं है, तादात्म्य नहीं है. क्यों? Because that little child does not have the idea of I, मैं, I am so and so. It's that kind of a strong feeling of individuality is absent. When the individuality is present, it is continuously engaged in protecting that individuality. Everybody should look at me. Everybody should respect me. All people should adore me, worship me, they talk good of me. At least I should be noticed. I should be regarded. I should be listened to. All these things a child doesn't expect. उसका अहंता नहीं है उसके लिए. So when that child does not have this individual I, it is very innocent. It is able to move with everybody easily. It is smile with everyone easily. It is to play with everyone without any issue. But slowly, the child gets into this idea that I am somebody. I need to be noticed, etc. As I said, then the child, starts to become choosy. I do this, I don't do this. I want this, I don't want this. I like this, I don't like this. I want to go, I don't want to go. All that happens when me, aham, I am so and so. So a Mahatma, one who has reached that self which is one in all, same in all, without any difference at all, in such a Mahatma, in that state of oneness with the self, how can there be any possibility of such individuality? Satyastitihi nahamuteti yatra. Aham na udeti yatra. Where the aham does not rise up at all. Even as he lives in a place, maybe his own house, maybe he has his own people, his own things, but he does not feel this is mine and nobody can use it. This is mine and nobody can touch it. This is mine, nobody can even go anywhere near that. I alone should enjoy that. Aisa kuch nahi. So that is the reason why very difficult to understand the mind of a Mahatma, because he lives like anybody else, but in his mind, he doesn't have mine. Mine hai nahi. मेरा नहीं है, ये भगवान का है. भगवान ने सृष्टि किया. भगवान एव कर्ता, भगवान एव भोक्ता. Or in other words, it is nothing is mine. The moment the I-ness comes, there is there immediately there is a tie, a bondage. That's why I often repeat, don't create new bondages, please. When the children are gone, dog, cat, kya hai? Kyun? Why are you creating more bondage to yourself? Anyway, you are born, and therefore you have brother, sister, mother, father, all that. Then you are married, let us say, then you have husband or wife and the children and the grandchildren, and then all that are going to be there anyways. Why create new things? The more things that we relate to and then identify with, the more bondage is created. So coming out of the bondage means what? There you don't, first of all, don't create new things to bind yourself. Secondly, even those which you have, understand you are a relative entity. You yourself is a relative entity. You are also subject to birth and death. You are not permanent here. So who is permanent here? Nobody is permanent. Nobody is going to live forever. Everybody has a beginning and an end. Everything has got a beginning and end. Then, and when it is begins, it's all enjoyment. When it ends, it's all sorrow. Why? You, from the very beginning, you know it's going to end. So, have that maturity to handle things. Yes, when I need it, yes, it is necessary. I will handle it carefully. But when it is ready to mature and leave. Do not hold on. So this, but that doesn't happen though easily. That's why here Brahmana Maharshi says, Anveshanam kuryat. Please look for where's the origin. Origin is ajnanam. Origin is absence of joy, absence of knowledge that you are blissful, joyful, complete, content. You need nothing, really speaking. But because, oh, my wife wants, I don't want, my wife wants, I don't want, my husband wants, I don't want. ऐसा excuse मत करना. आप सोचो, आप खुद सोचो, आपको क्या चाहिए? What do you want? When you look at carefully, you realize it is this wanting something caused by absence of the awareness of the inner bliss. Once you realize that, the bliss is already there. So one has to dive deep into oneself. That is when the next verse he says, verse number 30, Kupe yata gada jale tatantah nimajya buddhya shitaya nitantam pranam cha vacham cha niyamya chinvan vinde nijaham kriti moola rupam Kupe yata gada jale tatantah nimajya buddhya shitaya nitantam pranam cha vacham cha niyamya chinvan vinde nijaham kriti moola rupam. How to go deep into yourself? Guruji writes, this is the process of meditation. Meditation is not just sitting quietly. That even a stone can do it. Why you human being has to do it? विचार करना चाहिए. ध्यान अवस्था में विचार करना चाहिए. या क्या विचार क्या होता है? So first of all, understand this example. Kupe. Kupa means in a deep well. Gada jale. Yata gada jale kupe agada nire kupe. In a deep well or a pond, how a person who is jumping into it for picking up something from the bottom of that well, Vagpani niyamanena, Vagprana niyamanena, but when you get into the water, you cannot talk. So your speech is also stopped, and also you cannot breathe. So what are you trying to do there? to get something inside the water, how you need to stop both speech and prana. Control the speech, cannot open the mouth. Control the breath. Jalasya antargatva, going into the water. Tatra nashtam vastu grihnati. Whatever is lost, he is trying to grab it, to look for it. Nashtam vastu grihnati. Tata. In the same way, nitantam, nitantam, antyantam shitaya, kushagraya, buddhya, tiya, pranam vacham chaniyamya. In the seat of meditation, really speaking, you should not do any japa. Many people say, Swamiji, इतना जप करता हूं, कुछ नहीं होता है. कुछ नहीं होगा. क्यों? Mind is there. Mind is there means ahankar is there. मैं कर रहा हूं, ऐसा सोच आएगा. That thought will come to your mind when you are chanting. Don't you have that I'm chanting? So when you say I am chanting, then I am is there, which is that ahankar. मैं करता हूं, मैं जब करता हूं, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Maunam, quietude, silence. Japa karo, no doubt you need to do the japa only to make the mind available to you because it is going all over the place. So you slowly, by repeating the name of the Lord, bring the mind to your own control because it is otherwise thinking about so many 100 different things. So having thus brought the mind to your own control by chanting the name of the Lord, slowly, and then reduce the intensity. That's why Ramana Maharshi says, Uttamastavat Uchamantataha Chittajam Japa Dhyanam Uttamam. Ucha Japa, Manda Japa, and then Antar Japa. Uttamastavat Uchamandadaha Chittajam Japa Dhyanam Uttamam. Chittajam Japa. In your own mind you chant as a thought. Om Namah Shivaya, you can chant loud, and when the mind is going all over around, not listening to you, not under your control, chant loudly. Once the chanting is loudly and the mind has become slowly available to you, then chant mild. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Only the mind. So slowly repeat that, and then mind has become quiet. Then he says, when this mind which is chanting and becoming quiet does not mean it has become dull. So the intellect has to be sharp. That's why he says here, Krushagraya buddhya. Very sharpened intellect, meaning alert, very alert, not going to sleep, not going into a lethargic state, not going to a lazy state. Buddhyadya pranam vacham cha niyamya, controlling the speech as well as the prana. Prana, regulate the prana, incoming and outgoing breath. Uchsrisita nishvisita varjam yogi mauni bhutva, controlling the exhalation and inhalation. Nijahang kritimula rupam vindet, find out the origin of the I. Nijahang kritehe swiya ahankarasya moola rupam janmasthanam prapnuyat. Vang niyamanena mano niyanamapi lakshitam. By stating that control of the speech, what is meant by here is control of the mind. Now let us look at one thing here. what is the connection between prana, vak, and mana? How are they related? Because in Upadeshas are also Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi has stated, prana bandhanat liyate manaha. By control of the breath, mind is also subsided. Prana bandhanat liyate manaha jala pakshivat rodha sadhanam. Like the bird is captured and not allowed to fly by putting the net on it. In the same way, prana bandhanat manaha leenam gacchati. By the control of the breath, the mind becomes quiet. How is that? Yadyapi mano niyamanasyaiva shastreshu pradhanyena upadeshaha bhavati. Even though in our shastras it is only control of the mind is spoken in specifically, but not about the speech, etc. Tatapi gada jala nimajjana drishtanta anurodena. By the example that is given here, just as jumping into a well or a pond, where a person is able to arrest the speech and the prana, vak prana niyamana upadeshasya swarasyam avadeyam. So it is into swarasyam that a very interesting point is being brought out here with respect to how the mind becomes quiet by the control of the speech and prana. Nanu mano vijrumbhanasya pradibandhane sadhana bhuto vagnirodha. Tasmat tanyamanena manoniyanam kinchit bhavatu. It is often seen, but merely, even a person controls the mind, mano vijrumbhanasya pradibandhane sadhana bhuta vagnirodha. How is the connection between these two are established? So, how by control of the breath, control of the speech can control the mind? Kimartam prana niyamanam. What is the purpose of prana niyamanam? Uchyate sharire prana adinam hi manaha. This is the connection. Mind depends upon prana. Very clearly, it's seen when our breathing is not proper, mind becomes dull. If we see a person who is relatively old and his prana or the breathing is not proper, the psychologically the person becomes very tired. The mind would not easily function. So here, sharire prana adinam hi manaha. With respect to the body, prana adinam, depending upon the prana is mind. How do you say that? Kshut pipasa boga icha mayasya pranasya vishayakarshane manaha tam pranam avashataya anuyati. Often when we get thirsty or hunger, this is the work of the prana. Prana alone is the one which controls the or creates the hunger and thirst in the body. And therefore, when we are hungry or thirsty, obviously mind goes towards that. If you are hungry and if I ask you to sit down and do some chanting, your mind will go after that hunger only or thirst. So therefore, mind goes after what is created by the prana in the body. So tasmat pranasya shodhana samskaradibihi avashyakaha paripagaha pranarodhane sampadyate. Therefore, control of the prana is necessarily control of the mind. Where prana is properly managed, mind becomes quiet. Often, Ramana Maharshi had advised prana vikshanam than prana yamanam, prana ayamanam. Instead of what do we mean by control of the breath? To start with, that has to be observation of the breath. As you sit quietly and start observing incoming and outgoing breath, you will be able to bring the mind to one pointed attention only on that. As you consciously observe your breathing, mind becomes relatively quiet, and slowly, you can take a deep breath and slow exhalation, deep inhalation, slow exhalation, deep inhalation, slow exhalation. The mind naturally becomes quiet. This is anubhava only. This is by experience only you will know it. So, pranam chavacham cha niyamya chinvan vinde nijahang kridimula rupam. Now, how by quietening the mind will be able to find the origin of ahankar? It is very clear that without the aham iti vritti, manovritti would not take place. Meaning, without the aham vritti, there cannot be any extended form of thought process. Everything is connected to aham. I want this, I don't want this, I like it, I don't like it, I am happy, I'm not happy, I'm tired, I'm not tired, I'm seeing, I'm walking, I'm talking. Everywhere this I am is the very main vritti around which alone all other thoughts are built in. Okay. Now, therefore, when the mind has become quiet, you can clearly, distinctly see the rise and fall of aham. From one thought to another thought, how the aham jumps. The ahankar jumps from one thought to another. If your mind is quiet, you can clearly see how it moves. For example, if you're chanting the name of the Lord, and in between another thought comes, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. What is for dinner? Om Namah Shivaya. I have to put the rice in the cooker. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And then make dal also. Om Namah Shivaya. So it jumps. So it keeps jumping. So that means it doesn't stay in one place. And this is only an example I'm giving, but it will run further also. The dal, which dal? Tur dal or mursmusam, then some other dal. And that dal is not good. Yesterday I had that dal and somebody's house, and that I had stomach pain. So therefore that dal is not good. Some doctor also said to me long time back, which doctor? That doctor whom I met in Coimbatore. On that Coimbatore fellow, that fellow is a best doctor. That it keeps going somewhere. It doesn't stay in one place. कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? अभी डालना है कुकर में, दाल को रखना है. I have to put the dal for cooking. From there it has moved far away. You may probably mechanically chant Om Namah Shivaya goes on parallelly. Parallel processing is taking place. But at the same time, mind is capable of manojavam marutatulya vegam. Marutatulya vegam mana. Mind is so fast it goes. So it's very nice to watch this mind running, how it is jumping from one to another, one to another, one to another. So whenever yato nischarati manas chanchalam astiram tadastato niyammetad atmanyeva vasham nayeti kaditavan Bhagavan. In 6th chapter of Shashti Adhyaye, Bhagavan, in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan has very clearly, whenever the mind runs, catch them there and there. If you leave it for a while, it will just fall away, unreachable. It just runs. So, moment you notice mind has moved, bring it. Tatastato niyam. There and then you catch it. If you wait long, you will be spending your meditation half an hour, all right. But you will wonder how the half an hour went, because mind has gone into so many places. See, if we really meditate even for 5 minutes, it's great. Without the mind running out anywhere, if you are able to keep the mind in one place, even 5 minutes. Swamiji, I've been doing for every day 1 hour meditation. We know where the mind has gone for 1 hour. So many places it has gone and come back. few minutes on also we cannot keep the mind in one place. It is not that easy. Either you go to sleep or you are running somewhere else in the mind. So, pranam cha vacham cha niyamya shitaya buddhya, with a sharp, that is the sharpness of the intellect. Shitaya buddhya, with the sharp intellect which is capable of catching, observing the movement of this aham in the form of vrittis. Pranam cha vacham cha niyamya chinvan, chintanam kurvan, bindet, discovers, nija swa ahankriti moola roopam, moola sthanam, janmasthanam, vindet, find out. So one more example also given here, in the verse number 31. Maunena majjan manasa swamula charchaiva satyatma vicharanam syat eshohametanna mama swarupam iti pramasatya vicharanangam maunena majjan manasa swamula charchaiva satyatma vicharanam syat eshohametanna mama swarupam iti pramasatya vicharanangam. Maunena, with silence, stillness of the mind, majjan manasa, diving in that, merging in that, manasa, what? With the mind, swamula charcha, inquiry into the root of aham, root of the ahankar, eva, alone, satya atma vicharanam, true inquiry of the self. See, when it says swamula charcha, sahankara mula charcha, it is not atma mula charcha. It is not to try to find out the origin of the self, consciousness. No. Ahankara mula charcha. So this is what is called, how the charcha should be there, done, how the inquiry should be done, or looking for the root. Again, he says, Esha aham etat na mama swarupam. Slowly recognize that this I am, the self I am, and I am not anything else other than the self. This consciousness, awareness I am, and not what I am aware of. It is kind of drishya vivek. Jo main dekh raha hu, wo main nahi hu. If I am looking at a book, I am not the book. I am looking at the book because the book must be different from me. I am able to see, no. I am able to see means I am not the one which I am seeing. I am able to touch means I am not the one which is I am able to touch. It is other than me. Start from there. Jo main dekh raha hu, what I am seeing is not me. What I am touching is not me. What I am tasting is not me. What I am smelling is not me. What I am hearing is not me. Then next one is, by what I am seeing is not me. By what I am hearing is not me. By what I am touching is not me. By what I am smelling is not me. So first is what the object of experience, then the instrument of experience. The eyes by which I am seeing, The object that I'm seeing is not me. Even the instrument through which I'm seeing is also not me. So the object which I'm hearing as well as this instrument through which I'm hearing, both are not. The object which I'm smelling, the instrument by which I'm smelling is not. The object I'm touching, the instrument by which I'm touching, both are not. Then slowly, you have to go deeper there. This is why it's called going deep into yourself. Then the thought because of which I am using an instrument to see, I am not. जो वृत्ति है, जिसके कारण, जिसके वजह से, जिसके द्वारा मैं जो देख रहा हूं, ये तीन मैं नहीं हूं. What I'm seeing, through which I'm seeing, because of which I'm seeing, all the three I'm not. That what I'm hearing, by which I'm hearing, due to which I'm hearing, because of which I'm hearing, or what is the reason for hearing, what is pushing me to hear, that is also not. So the thought that is inducing me to see, the thought that is inducing me to hear, the thought that is inducing me to smell, that also not. So, eshaha aham etat na mama swarupam. Etat na mama swarupam. This is not my nature. So the object is not my nature. The instrument is not my nature. The thought is also not my nature. So that as you start, this is why maunin, with quiet mind, still mind, alert mind, negate the object, negate the instrument, negate the thought. Once you come to that negation of the thought, you realize that when the thought I am not, when you realize that aham connected to the thought stands alone, that aham connected to the thought stands alone, awareness. You can see how it is identifying with the thought. Moment it identifies with the thought, ahamkar. Without any identification, it remains aham. Maunena, nishabdhena, nischintanena, दूरीकृत भेद गूदीकृत अभेद दूरीकृत आत्म इतर चिंतनेन इति यावत् दूरीकृत आत्म इतर चिंतनेन यत् मज्जन्मनसा मज्जता अंतर्गाहमानेन मनसा चेतसा क्रियमाणा. With that mind which is gone within deep, samoola charcha, swasya atmanaha moolasya ashraya swarupasya charcha vicharana. Who am I? Charcha. Go to the root, go to the root, go to the root of the whole thing. Satyatma vicharanam syat, satyatmanaha vicharanam bhavati. Idrisha satyatma vicharanasya upaya bodham angam aha. This is the methodology of, or method of conducting the inquiry about your real self. Yeshaha aham ayam atma drashta. Vishayi na kadabi drishyah aham. I am the drashta vishayi. I am the seer and not the anytime na kadabi drishyah aham. Drige vanatu drishyate, seer and not the seen. It just cannot be seen anytime. Edadidam shariram namama swarupam iti prama anubhavakshama shastriya buddhi. Etat shariram. Shariram here means all things that are connected to this body. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, all these are all part of the body only. The body also means subtle body in the form of thoughts. Satya vicharanangam. Satyasya atmanah vicharasya angam bhavati. Anena shastriya drigdrishya vivekah na kadapi jnanam bhavati gamyate. Very important point. See, drigdrishya viveka, panchakosha viveka, avastatraya viveka, atmanatma viveka, all these various things which are talked in the Vedanta, differentiation between self and the not self, differentiation between the seer and the seen, differentiation between the 5 koshas and the Atman, differentiation between the 3 states of experiences and Atman. All these are all, no doubt, are useful for your inquiry. They are by themselves not jnanam. A vichara angaha bhavati. They are all, see, it is like this. Now, as I've explained before also, if a particular crime has taken place, the investigator wants to find out who the culprit is. He may get various evidences. Inquiry he will do and find out who the person could be, why the particular victim was killed, and who are the possible enemies for him, and what, where and all he had gone, whom and all he met just before the crime took place, and what are the proofs that are available to find out who the culprit could be. All that. This is called information. Useful. But that is not the solution. Solution is where? When does he get the solution? When does he solve the problem? Until he gets the culprit. And culprit he got and confessed. The confession has to take place. Yes, I am the one who killed. Because the proof is, all the evidences and all the other things are all to prove that fellow is the culprit. They are all available to you, but by themselves it's not a solution. In the same way, Drigdrishya Viveka, Panchakosha Viveka, Avastatri Viveka, Atmanatma Viveka, all these are all useful tools. But what you should do with them? Find out. Kaun hai wo? Who is the final culprit? See, we have many information available, but we have to zero into one, right? A single individual or group of people, whatever it be. But who is the one who committed this crime? And without the solid reason why, you cannot arrest him or her. Not possible, because you will see what is the proof. Why are you doing? What is the motive here? In the same way, even when we do Drisha Vichar, all these Vichar, all these various Viveka information is given to us until we conduct the inquiry and find out who the culprit is. Until that elimination of the culprit is taking place, there is no possibility of moksha. So, Shastra, Adhyayanam, study of scriptures, is available information to you. Shastra jnanasya kinchidasti prayojanam iti shastra jnanam na nishiddham. Do not therefore come to a conclusion, oh, then in that case shastra jnanam is useless. Aisa nahi. Aisa nahi. You do not misconstrue that merely studying the scriptures are useless. No. That is not the point. Kintu janmantare vasya shastra jnanam antara na asti atma jnanam. Without the study of the scriptures, you do not even know that there is self. Isn't it? Aisa malum pada aapko. that मैं आत्मा हूँ, एक आत्मा है, ऐसा चीज है, there is something called आत्मा. वो कहाँ से आपको मालूम पड़ा? How did you come to know? In school, you did not get it. In the university, nobody taught you. If you have gone to Balvihar, perhaps you might have been informed about that. But otherwise, so Shastra Jnanam Avashyakam Jnanam, I mean, when you say it is Jnanangam, it is a definite, what do you call, necessary tool. But vichar karna chahiye. With the help of that knowledge, which is received from the Shastra, one should apply to oneself to find out why there is no freedom in me, why there is a lack of happiness, why there is this constant arrogance and ego and pride about me and my and I and my. Why? What is the cause? How do I get out of it? So therefore, this inquiry is very important. Eshoham ada etanna mama swarupam. This is with the help of the with the Shastra Jnana, you come to know etat shariram aham na mama swarupam na idam shariram yeshaha aham. This self is I am. This way you are able to do the discrimination with the help of the Shastra Jnanam. But that is, even though very useful, until you hold on to the self in the destruction of the ahankar, until that is done, the true release does not happen. Jivatah muktasya atma abhasasya ahankarasya nashe tat satya tat vyaktyashraya bhuta paramartha swarupa vyanjaka shuddha aham vrittehe spuranam pradipadayati. The next verse is about how, when in the case of a Jivan Mukta, when he had destroyed the aham vritti, ahankara, thereafter, how is he able to maintain his individual being? As far as others are concerned, he is still a living individual. In what way he will thereafter engage in the world? What is his I? See, in case of I, individuality is so strong in all of us. And if you look at your mind at any given point of time, it is all about, I want this, I don't want this, I want this, I like this, I don't like this, I want to go there, I don't want to go there, I have to plan for this, I have to do all I go constantly. Just watch, you will understand. If you are going to a mall, if you are going to a party, if you are going to meet some people, or if you're going anywhere you go, there is a constant voice that is directing you. Oh, this person doesn't smile at me. I am not going to smile at me. Last time also she didn't smile at me. I don't want to smile. This one, food is available. So I think that I can have that. Gulab Jamun is there also. I know that. I saw that while coming. Somebody brought. Constantly is going, oh, what I want, what I want, what I want. So if that is the case of all of us, autobiography of a bogi. We don't need to worry about autobiography of a bogi. That will be there. Constant boga. But autobiography of yogi kya hai? What does he think? What is his thought process? What is that which he would be having in his mind? Does he have ahang there? If it is there, in what form? If it is not there, then how does he operate? So that is said in the verse number 32 here. Gaveshanat prapya hritantaram tat padedahanta paribhugna shirsha atahamanyas purati prakrishtam Nankritistat parameva purnam Gaveshanat prapya hritantaram tat patedahanta paribhugna shirsha atahamanyat spurati prakrishtam nahankritistat parameva purnam. Gaveshanat, Anveshanat. Due to that search, Tat Hridantaram Prapya, having gone deep within oneself, inside the heart, Ahanta Paribhugna Shisha Padet. This Ahankar, its head broken, falls down. That's a very interesting, way of putting it. Head broken. Meaning what? Don't we say that if a person is too much of ego, his head is full of, it's usually they refer to the head only. Head weight. We call it as head weight. Head weight means what? He's thinking too much about himself. So that head is broken. Shirsha means head. Paribhugna means bug means to budge, means to destroy. Paribhugna, completely broken. Paribhugna Shirsha Patet, it falls. What? Aham. This ahankar, hanta, paribhugna Shirsha Patet. So when this aham is destroyed with the head broken, when the vichar is undertaken and slowly as one gets into this very source of it, then what remains then? So if that individual I is gone, what would then will maintain this physical body? Prarabdha has to continue. To prarabdha to continue, there should be something making sure that the individual body is maintained until death. What is that which will sustain it then? So it is said, Antaha ata anyat aham, one more I, prakrishtam, predominantly spurati, starts to shine. Tad na ahankritihi, that is not ahankar. Then what it is? Param purnam eva. It is self by itself. Consciousness itself will start to shine forth. It's very difficult for us to understand how it is possible for a person whose ahankar is destroyed, still living as an individual, for others to watch him. How does he then? That's why even Arjuna asked that question. Siddha prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava siddhati kim prabhaseta kimasita vrajeta kim. How does he walk? How does he talk? How does he describe? How does he speak? How? There is no individuality. How does he do it there? I was giving talks on Ramana Maharshi's few things some time back. I'll send you the link last 2 weeks back. And I was quoting one portion where a person, a visiting European gentleman, he was with Ramana Maharshi, and Ramana Maharshi as well as all others, They were shown a particular photograph by somebody, some photograph. And after some time, the photograph seemed to have been misplaced somewhere. So everybody started to search. Everybody frantically looking for the picture. And Ramana Maharshi was keeping quiet and watching all of them. So then this European gentleman came to him and said, why are you not searching for that photo? I said, what photo? I said, the picture which we all saw, now it is missing. Okay. So we are all searching for it. All right. Why are you not searching for it? He said, the one which was seen and one which is you are searching, both are untrue. Both are false. What you saw was also false. What you are searching is also false. Then why should I bother? So that person couldn't understand this. I just don't understand you. He said, see, let us say in your dream, you took me to Poland. He's from Poland. In your dream, you took me to Poland, let us say. Okay. And upon waking up, you are asking me, how was the journey? What do I say? What do I say? I never came. According to you, I came. But I never moved from my place. Now, how is that you are expecting me to answer that question? Is it possible? So, in the case of a Mahatma, we just don't understand which level he's operating from. Though he will be seen amidst us, exactly like anybody else, but he's not here. He's not here in the sense, he's not here in this realm of thinking. He will falsify every experience there and then. Don't even wait for any time because it becomes an impression. The moment you wait for a particular thought to go on its own, it won't go. The falsification of the thought happens at once. That's why Bhagavan said, Yato yato nischarati manas chanchalamasstiram. Whenever the mind goes, whichever form it is trying to establish in your mind, tatas tato niyam. There and then you will falsify. Then therefore there is nothing called impression that is thereafter taking place in a Mahatma's mind. So he never therefore live in the past experiences, nor have any anxiety about the future, because both are equally false. And at this present moment, he will look at it as if it is happening at this drishtanashta swabhava. As it is happening, it is changing and gone. So that is why Gaveshana Prapya Hridantaram, having gained that access to the self out of that vichara, Ahanta Paribhugna Shisha Padet, that Ahankar has completely broken headed, fallen, Ata Aham Anyat, another Aham, Spurati Sprakrishtam, shines forth very clearly, Na Ahankritihi, it is not Ahankar, then Tat Parameva Purnam. And the supreme reality alone is then thereafter there. Clarification in the points, right? Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, out of his own experience. This is not borrowed from any other Upanishad or, it is from somewhere else. No, it is his own experience, his own inquiry, his own discovery. That's why it is unique. At the same time, he makes sure that people do not shun the Shastra because it is necessary. Shastra gives the good background and kind of confidence with the information, what we need to do. But the process of inquiry that which is uniquely presented by Ramana Maharshi, he says, without that, without discovery of that, Swamula Charcha, without knowing the very root cause, we will not move further. We'll see more of it in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.